Hello, and welcome to Learn to Golf. This is part one of a three-part series, so please check back when they're finally uploaded. Today is chipping and putting. Usually the most useful in your bag of clubs. Now, for chipping, I have a sand wedge. This is primarily used about 60, 80 yards in, somewhere around that range. And as the name implies, it's used for the sand. Now, it's also very good at rough as it has a big club head. So, for chipping, you want your feet for longer chips about shoulder width apart. For shorter chips, maybe near the green, maybe about 10, 20 yards off, you want your feet close together. And with the close together one, you want the ball close. Just so you just want it close. Now, for longer chips, you want it a bit further out. Widen stance, basically. Now for these longer chips, you take it outside, make sure to rotate that body to the side. If you're going to take it inside, you're most likely only going to sway, which is bad. But if you take it like this, you're going to sway. But if you take it like this, you have more of a tendency to turn that body, which helps with getting more power into it, per se. Now, for most chips, you're not going to have it come maybe above your waistline here, so only about halfway. For longer chips, you're going to want to feel this stretch out coming up by, like, forcing yourself. Not really forcing yourself, but more or less feel yourself stretching out like this. Put your wrists up, and as soon as it's parallel with your body, or with your shoulder I should say, or when about your shoulder reaches your chin, that is when you can start your downswing, which is just doing the same thing, just opposite. Instead of going up, you're coming down in that linear sense and stretching. So here, I'll give a slow example. Man, that was horrible. Luckily, that was only a foam ball. Now, chipping is one of the things that you're definitely going to need practice on, as it is one of the more delicate types of the golf game. Now we're going to move on to putting. This is a standard putter. One sec, I have to grab the ball so I can show you some stuff. This is a standard putter. It has a standard line right in the middle of it that helps with aiming. Most balls will also have an aiming guide, usually in the middle of the ball between the two logos. Yeah, they double print logos on them. I don't know why. But for putting, feet about shoulder width apart, you're going to want your head basically over the ball so you can look at it. Your butt or your rear hanging out, usually. Your knees slightly bent, and it's just like a tick-tock of the clock. Back, forth, back, forth. And that's going to be your tempo. Tempo is extremely, extremely useful, and you have to know what your tempo is so that you can understand and maybe fix it if it's too quick or too slow. Now, the main rule about putting, usually, is don't go past the front edge of your left foot and the back edge of your right foot. This is just so that you can keep it in line and make sure your putter comes off straight. Now, I somewhat agree with that. But there is some points in time where you're going to need to go further than the edge of your feet. And that's for more lag putt situations. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple drills here for putting. If you're missing short putts, like 3, 5, or 7 feet from, you can do what's called the clockwork drill. Now, the clockwork drill has you put 4 tees around a hole, 3 feet from the hole, and put a ball at each tee. And you just put them in a row. If you miss one, you have to restart. Oh Lord. Then if you're missing long putts, or as we call them, lag putts, you are going to want to set up a tee to a cup, usually about 15 to 20 feet off. Then you're going to want to step basically behind the cup and put the tee 2 feet off. That's going to be your practice. You're going to try and make it, or at least get it there. Because getting it there at least gives that thing a chance to go in. But if you go past the tee, you might have some difficulty recovering back from that second putt. Now that's just one of the 2 drills that are for lag putts. There's another one, but I personally like the cup one. Now there are some chipping drills, and for sand at the practice range, you can draw a line and then just practice hitting the sand. But for regular chips, you can practice doing a little stance thing. So say you want to get it above a hill but stop quickly, you want to put it more to the front of your stance. And that does not mean putting it like way up near the front foot, no. It's just a little movement to the front. So if you have it directly in the middle, maybe an inch or 2 to the left, maybe an inch or 2 to the right for the back stance. Now middle's going to come out in the normal loft and stop relatively, not so quickly, but it'll roll out a bit. Putting it in the back of your stance will have it come out low and run more. And putting it in the front of your stance will have it come out higher and stop quicker. Those are for the ones that are maybe the pins are real close to the front edge of the green, or you just hit it over. That was the first part in how to learn how to golf. Come back for the second 2 parts with irons and longer clubs. Thank you.